It's Thursday, December 10th, and this is now on HNN.
Isolated but not immune. A COVID case has been confirmed at Kalaupapa. Details just ahead.
To prepare to furlough most state employees.
Under the governor's furlough plan, most state workers will see a 9% pay cut.
Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine is crossing its final hurdle before it can be distributed across the country. I'm Skylar Henry at the FDA headquarters in Maryland, where a panel is deciding whether to approve the vaccine.
Ship as soon as possible.
The dates you need to know to get your holiday packages in the mail to ensure they're delivered on time.
Thank you, mahalo.
These stories plus, we're talking to actress Tori Spelling. That's coming up on This Is Now. Breaking news, Governor David Ige has approved Maui County Mayor Mike Victorino's request to shut down the county's bars starting Saturday. The county says bars that don't have a certified kitchen will need to close for 2 weeks. Restaurants can still serve alcohol at dining tables, but not at the bar counter. We're posting all these details right now on our HNN digital platforms.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This is Now. Ashley and Jonathan here. Let's get to those latest numbers from the State Department of Health. Health officials are reporting 123 new cases today, along with 2 new deaths. The breakdown by county shows 24 cases on the Big Island, 2 on Kauai, 11 on Maui, 79 on Oahu, and 7 cases were diagnosed out of state. Meanwhile, DOH confirms the first positive case in Kalaupapa. Officials say it's an adult resident who tested positive after returning from a local flight with no symptoms. We're told the person is currently isolating and close contacts have been notified. Kalaupapa, which is in Moloka'i's Kalawao County, was reportedly the last county in the U.S. without a positive case before today's announcement. Now to the race for a vaccine. After a day-long meeting, an FDA advisory panel is preparing to vote on whether to recommend an emergency use authorization for Pfizer's vaccine. Skylar Henry has more.
It's the final hurdle for the Pfizer COVID vaccine. A group of experts meeting to discuss whether to recommend emergency authorization. The drug maker made its case in a virtual presentation.
We were able to enroll over 40,000 participants in a record 6 weeks, give them each 2 doses of vaccine, and ensure their safety while conducting the trial with strict compliance and uncompromising quality.
Safety is the top question, especially after the UK reported 2 possible allergic reactions. The FDA will consider the panel's recommendation, but the commissioner has already signaled strong support, saying he has complete confidence in the scientific review.
Remember, those reviewers are people, are mothers, fathers, their brothers and sisters. They have kids and grandkids.
The panel gave the public a chance to express concerns.
Given the process for reviewing new products usually takes 6 to 10 months, how could the FDA be as rigorous in weeks this time?
If the FDA gives the green light, vaccinations could begin within days, shattering all records for the speed of the vaccine's development. As the virus surges across the country, the urgency is rising. The number of daily deaths topping 3,000 for the first time on Wednesday. Hospitals are preparing freezers for when the vaccine arrives.
Personally, I cannot roll up my sleeve fast enough to get this vaccination, and I guess I would urge the community, when it's that time, to do the same.
UPS and FedEx are ready to ship out millions of doses as soon as the vaccine is approved, promising they'll be top priority, even as holiday shipping hits its peak. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Silver Spring, Maryland.
County mayors are calling for some sort of second test for Trans-Pacific travelers, but Lieutenant Governor Josh Green says those visitors are unlikely to take that test unless it's at the airport.
Anybody who wants to get a lot of people tested is going to have to test on arrival. That's the only chance you have to get them. If you try to chase people down on day 4, we learned that definitely through the surveillance program, you will not get them. You will not find them.
Green is responding to Mayor Kirk Caldwell's proposal, and here's what that is. If travelers don't have their test results by the time they get to Oahu, they'd be allowed to take a test at the airport paid for by the state. They're free to go if they're negative. If travelers did not take a test before their flight, they must pay for one at the airport, quarantine for 4 days, and take another test. If both are negative, they're clear to enjoy their vacation. Caldwell also wants to test people traveling for business who are currently exempt. Those tests would be paid for by the person's employer.
Mayor Caldwell also says HPD is not tracking some 20,000 people in quarantine on Oahu. He said officers simply cannot knock on 20,000 doors or make that many calls a day. But he says HPD is randomly checking on people by phone. HPD's COVID enforcement unit was suspended last month after allegations of officers claiming hundreds of hours of overtime. Meanwhile, because of the financial crisis caused by the pandemic, Governor Ige says most state employees will be furloughed 2 days a month starting January. Rick Desog has more on who's affected and who's exempt.
Beginning on January 1st, affected employees will be required to take 2 unpaid days off every month.
For the 10,000 state workers affected, the furloughs amount to a 9.2% pay decrease. Governor David Ige says the drastic move is needed to address an estimated $1.4 billion shortfall for each of the next 4 years. He says the furloughs will save $300 million a year.
If we did not do the furloughs, and we had to implement a reduction in force, we estimate that we would have to lay off more than 4,000 employees.
First responders will be exempt from the furloughs, as well as correctional officers and state nurses. The furloughs also don't apply to jobs paid for by special funds or those funded by fees like those in the Department of Transportation. Teachers will also be subject to the furloughs, but they won't have to take the full 2 days a month. The governor says details will be later announced by the DOE and the UH.
We are focused for public schools on ensuring that the students get the instructional days that they need in order to be promoted to the next grade level.
House Speaker Scott Saiki doubts the furloughs will take place in January because of legal challenges.
I'm assuming that the unions will challenge this very aggressively and probably take it to court.
We are looking at the legal requirements, and we do believe that I do have the authority to implement them.
The governor added that the furloughs will remain in place until the economy and the state budget recover.
It's hard to predict how quickly the economy will rebound, but it really will be driven by when we can restore significant numbers of trans-Pacific travelers.
Rick Desog, Hawaii News Now.
New at noon, Delta is changing its policy to allow more flexible travel plans. The airline announced it is extending its no-change fees for all tickets through March 30th. For travel originating from North America, the change fee has been permanently eliminated. And to ensure safety, the middle seat will continue to be blocked through March 30th.
Time is running out to get those holiday packages in the mail so they arrive in time for Christmas. Casey Lund has more on those important USPS deadlines.
And good afternoon. You may want to think of this upcoming weekend as sort of your last chance to go shopping and get your packages in the mail so they'll arrive at their destinations in time for Christmas. I want to introduce Gate Ibarra with us from the U.S. Postal Service, and I want to really quickly, just right off the top, Gate, go over those dates for folks to ensure that they get those gifts to loved ones in time for December 25th.
Yes, we'd like to remind everyone to ship as soon as possible, but we have suggested mailing dates of December 15th for first class and priority packages going to the mainland, December 19th to the neighbor islands, and for all you last minute shoppers, you have up until December 21 to get your packages out using our express mail service.
And I think that's pretty incredible that the USPS is able to still on the 21st get something from Hawaii to the mainland. So that's great. I also want to talk about this. Now, this is a great resource, a self-service station here. We've already seen people today and earlier this morning while we were on Sunrise using this. Tell me some of the advantages of doing the self-service option.
Well, our self-service kiosks are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can go at your earliest convenience or whenever you want to, actually. We're open 24/7.
The drop boxes, they're pretty big, can fit one of these flat rate packages. And while we're talking about that, this is a great tool, especially for folks here in Hawaii. You can put whatever you can fit in that, right?
That's correct. It's the best deal in town. Use our flat rate boxes. Medium ships out for $15.05 and the large for $21.10. Fit up to 70 pounds in
Wow.
here.
And just last question before we go. I know at the parking lot here, we're at the airport post office. There's the drop-off tent. I know you also have one in Waipahu. Tell me about the hours. We can put those up on the screen for the one here.
The main post office hours are Monday through Friday up until December 21st from noon to 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Very good. And then closed on Sunday. So open these next 2 Saturdays, but really you are starting to run out of time to get those packages in. Again, those deadlines, the 15th for priority and first class mail, and then the 21st for priority express. Again, the 19th for inner island shipments. Reporting at the post office, I'm Casey Lund. Now back to you.
Casey Lund stressing me out there.
Hurry up.
Yeah, I got a little time left. Let's take you outside. Gorgeous. I had some time off yesterday. Got to spend a little time in the sun, and it looks the same today. Really pretty out there. Here's Guy Hoggy with an update on the conditions.
How's it on this Thursday? Light winds continue today, but because the disturbance that's been blocking the trade winds will be pulling away, those trade winds will make a return by tomorrow. The tail end of that disturbance still bringing some clouds and some showers to Kauai. The rest of us looking at just a few minor splashes here and there, and that's going to be the case through tomorrow as well. Now, those winds will be soft and scrambled today, but by tomorrow, trade winds will start filling in. So we're in for a similar day to yesterday, except more sunshine as that disturbance moves away. High temperatures running into the middle 80s. Again, there's a chance for some afternoon showers for a handful of windward spots. Otherwise, there are no weather alerts. The high surf advisories have been canceled. Swells in the country on the way down. The next significant swell is due on Sunday. And for today and tomorrow, the Billabong Pipeline Masters is postponed because of the small conditions. And South Shores looking at a small pulse with some shoulder high waves. So again, light winds today, trade winds coming back by tomorrow. More showers with lighter winds coming in by the first part of next week. Keep it here in Hawaii News Now. We'll have all your severe weather updates.
Another Hollywood celebrity has COVID-19. Ellen DeGeneres announced her diagnosis on Twitter today. She says she currently feels fine and is following CDC guidelines. Everyone who came into contact with DeGeneres is being notified. Her talk show has been filming since September. No word on how the diagnosis will affect the show.
Today, new at noon, we're talking to another celebrity about their experiences amid the pandemic. I had a chance to chat with actress Tori Spelling about how she handles stress, migraines, and she even shares a special Throwback Thursday memory of visiting Hawaii.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Tori. Aloha. Thank you for spending some time with us today.
Aloha. I'm going to close my eyes and pretend I'm there with you right now.
Feel free, go right ahead. But hey, I wanted to ask you how things have been going in this pandemic. You stayed busy, right?
Definitely. I mean, it's a learning curve for all of us, right? And we're all figuring out the best way to navigate it personally for ourselves and our families. But it's been bittersweet, I would say. Obviously, you know, there's so much sadness, and our hearts go out to everyone experiencing experiencing COVID-19 and the pandemic and what they're dealing with. But it has been nice being with my kiddos 24/7 and kind of keeping them tight and kind of going back to basics and just finding new ways of spending time together and being together. Although we love Hawaii very, very much, and we were supposed to come visit this year and we couldn't because of COVID. So
now, Tori, I understand you've been experimenting with new ways of dealing with stress and migraines, something I suffer from too from time to time.
Oh my gosh. See, you just said that and I instantly felt relief because I'm like, you're one of mine. We're such, we're a collective, all of us that deal with it. It's such a little unit because people that don't get it honestly don't understand. And I know they try their best and it's something they can't imagine. but it's so completely, as you know, debilitating. I've had mine for over 25 years. I actually will never forget the first place I got it, and because it changed my life, impacted it, not in a good way. I was filming 90210 in my early 20s, and I got a migraine, and we had to shut down production. I had to go home, and ever since then, just kind of been trying to navigate how to deal with it. And it's difficult because, there's triggers, of course, whether it's, food-based or allergy or menstrual. And then sometimes a migraine, there's no rhyme or reason. It just hits you. And you live in that constant fear, as you know, when or where is that migraine going to hit? Because once it hits, it doesn't matter. It takes control, and you are no longer able to work or to function. I have 5 kids. Something happens at work and I have a migraine. Okay, they're like, okay, they understand. But kids don't understand because you can't just stop and you can't just check out. So it was a huge fear of mine. Like, when is it going to happen? What's going to happen? Am I going to miss out on life and not be present? And I'm really grateful. And I'm managing mine now because I found a medication called Nurtec ODT about 6 months ago. And it was that light bulb moment, a complete game changer for me.
Yeah, they always hit at a really inopportune time. You got that right. Hey, you mentioned that you got your first migraine a couple of decades ago while shooting 90210. We all remember you in the role of Donna Martin. Well, there's a specific series of episodes where the whole gang comes to the Aloha State and it gets into a bunch of adventures. Just wondering if you have any memories you want to share of those episodes.
Yeah, I do. The best memories, first of all, you're with your brothers and sisters and best friends, and then they're like, hey, you're going to film an episode in Hawaii. I was like, okay. That was the best time. We had the best time. We had just such amazing experiences. I'm not really a fear factor type of girl. Like, I don't like heights and like roller coasters. But I am like an actor that goes for whatever I have to do. So we jumped off of, that was like a huge one. Like, we climbed up this amazing waterfall and we all held hands and like jumped off, and we like got to film where they filmed Jurassic Park, and it was really cool. So I was living the dream during that episode. So hopefully you guys will have us back one day. We should do a reunion in Hawaii.
Hey, I was a big fan of the reboot last year of 90210. While it didn't last long, I know you're still in touch with a bunch of your co-stars, including one of your best friends, Jenny Garth, and you guys have a new podcast, right?
Yes. My brothers and sisters, like, we're all super, super close. Grateful for BH 90210. Didn't go on for more than a season, but it allowed us to all kind of come full circle and work together again, which was the most amazing summer ever. It was like summer camp. But Jenny has been my best friend for 30 years, and we just love working together. So we keep creating things to work together. So we just create this new podcast that we just started called 9021 OMG, and it's all about rewatching all the episodes together. We've never watched a single episode together, and this is our first time. We're going through all 10 seasons.
Thanks, Tori.
Thank you. Mahalo.
Oh, mahalo. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. She was very nice. Thanks for being with us, Tori. Let's see what else the internet is talking about, folks. Mickey D's is offering some free food. Listen up to this. All right, what you have to do. The fast food chain will give away menu items that it thinks fictional Christmas characters would love, such as medium fries for Rudolph.
Okay.
He likes his fries, okay. Coffee for Scrooge, I can see that one sort of. The promotion will feature a different menu item each day. To get the deal, all you have to do is make a $1 minimum purchase and place your order through the McDonald's app. That's the important part there. On Christmas Eve, McDonald's is also giving away free chocolate chip cookies in honor of who else but Santa? You don't even need the $1 minimum purchase on that one, though.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And you guys, Budweiser has those holiday Clydesdales. Well, Coors Light is responding with a more 2020 mascot they call Beer Man.
That's frightening. I'm sorry. It's terrifying.
It's Frosty the Snowman for our very troubled times. So if you build your own version of the Beer Man and post it to Molson Coors Facebook or Twitter, you might win a prize. One lucky winner will have their backyard transformed into a winter wonderland. Hopefully not with the Beer Man.
For our podcast listeners, it's sort of a melty, scary horror movie snowman.
Yeah.
Not the friendliest.
Not as graceful as those Clydesdales.
No.
So, while many of us challenged ourselves by either learning how to bake or by maybe starting a home garden during the pandemic lockdown, Taylor Swift decided to record and release not one, but 2 studio albums. The singer announced today she'll be dropping her 9th record at midnight called Evermore. It's the sister record to her successful summer album, Folklore. In a tweet, Swift says, quote, "We just couldn't stop writing songs."
Shake it up, shake it up.
If you've seen the Netflix documentary on her,
No, I heard
words
also.
just come to her. Like, it's incredible how fast she writes things.
Very cool.
Yeah. And Time Magazine will reveal its Person of the Year in a 1-hour special tonight right here on KHNL. The 4 finalists were revealed this morning on Today. They include President-elect Joe Biden, President Donald Trump, who was Person of the Year in 2016, Dr. Anthony Fauci and frontline healthcare workers, and finally, the Movement on Racial Justice. Now, the magazine's Athlete of the Year was basketball star LeBron James, and Entertainer of the Year is the K-pop music group BTS.
We always have BTS stories planned for this show, and they never make the cut. So I'm glad we finally mentioned that super band right there.
Congrats to them.
Yeah, now we just have to listen to their videos at some point. All right, NASA space news, guys. Space news. I love this stuff. NASA has selected 18 astronauts for a program that could establish a new presence on the moon.
That's cool.
Mark Strassman has the story.
Jessica Watkins.
Make way, Apollo era. In 2020, this is what the right stuff looks like.
The Artemis generation.
NASA's 18 Artemis astronauts range in age from 32 to 55. They include flight test pilots, geologists, and a former Navy SEAL. Half have never been to space. Half are women. And NASA intends for one of them to become a space first.
I'm either going to walk on the moon or one of my friends is going to walk on the moon. And both of those scenarios are beyond my wildest dreams when I was a kid.
It really just took my breath away.
We talked to Artemis astronaut Nicole Mann. She's currently training to fly Boeing's Starliner spaceship to the International Space Station next year. And now the moon is on her horizon too.
Would it be important to you to be the first woman to land on the moon?
You know, I would love to be the first woman to walk on the moon, but in reality, it's the bigger mission that's more important. It's important that we get there as Americans, that we get there as a human race.
To get there, NASA's developing a new mega rocket and crew capsule called Orion. But Congress is yet to fully fund the Trump administration's 2024 landing goal. And the incoming Biden administration has to agree with these excited Artemis astronauts that this moon mission matters.
And one of the important things for a huge program and a huge endeavor like this is to have that continuity across administrations. And I feel confident that we have that. This is the future of human exploration.
But if the goal here was to create moon excitement, mission accomplished.
Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
And this just in, you guys, the World Surf League just posted on social media that they made the decision not to continue running the remaining heats at Honolulu Bay on Maui. This comes after the recreational surfer was bitten by a shark and then eventually died. They said, WSL says they are working on options to complete the Maui Pro at an alternate location in Hawaii.
We'll have those details posted on our H&N digital platforms. Also coming up in just a short time, Mayor Caldwell holding a press conference slated for 12:30. We expect it to be a few minutes later than that, regarding the city's economic recovery. You guys, stay with us. We'll see you at 4.